Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Bester, family nutritionist and picky eating coach, and I'm back with another picky eating hack where I take the latest in feeding research and translate it into super easy to implement strategies that will help you raise a healthy eater instead of a picky eater. And today I'm talking about why it's so important to get out of that rut with how you present veggies to your kids. Plus, I'll show you simple ways to do it, no Pinterest required. So if you have a picky eater, it's not breaking news that in order for them to learn to accept veggies, they're going to have to try them a whole bunch of times, sometimes upwards of 20 or even 30 times. But did you know that variety plays a huge role in getting kids to try and eventually accept new foods? How come? Because kids are, well, kids. And once they've decided that they don't like a particular food, they may not even consider trying it if you serve it again and again in the same form. For example, how many cucumber slices have your kids seen, right? Probably a billion. And if they have already decided that cucumber slices aren't their thing, they will just continue to ignore them every time you serve them. So today's hack is just one example of how you can apply the variety research in real life. If you want your child to try those veggies, you need to get out of that rut and get creative with how you present them. And I'm not talking Pinterest-worthy creative, don't worry. So can we talk about Pinterest for a second? Because there is a whole whack of pinspiration on the internet on how you can present food to your kids. Creating nature scenes or animals out of your vegetables or carving your radish into a flower. That is way too overwhelming for this non-artistic mama. So when I say get creative with how you serve your veggies, I don't mean getting artistic or complicated. I literally mean just cut them differently each time you serve them. So remember those boring cucumber slices I talked about? Next time, try cutting your cucumber into spears. And at the risk of sounding a little bit crazy, I actually think they taste better that way, I swear. And my kids obviously do too, because they always gobble them up. Say goodbye to carrot sticks and hello to carrot coins, which is basically just cutting the carrot in a different direction. But kids seem to love them. And I think it's because you're serving the vegetable in a smaller form, which is usually more accepted. This next one's a fun one. Try cutting peppers into rings. They're really fun to eat that way, and my kids like to make them into bracelets and wear them. Ooh la la. So this next one does involve purchasing a small tool called a crinkle cutter, which you can get online at Amazon for a couple of bucks. And it allows you to cut food into a crinkle shape. So here I am doing crinkle cut sweet potato fries, which are a hit in my house, but I also use it for those carrot coins that we talked about earlier and the cucumber spears, regular potatoes, all sorts of fun things. A picky eating strategy I talk about a lot is serving things in really small portions. So dicing veggies into itty bitty pieces can make a huge difference in terms of kids being willing to try them, to eat them, especially if it's their first exposure. Now, my art-obsessed kids like to use the itty bitty pieces to make pictures, which is another fun way to do it. Next up is shredding, something you might only think to do with cheese, but you can actually do with vegetables too. I use a food processor, but if you don't have one, you can definitely just use a cheese grater. So you can just serve them as is, or you can toss them into things like a pasta salad, which is what I like to do. So this last one's a tad more complicated because you do need to buy a tool called a spiralizer, but it actually turns vegetables into noodles, which are super fun for kids to eat and really, really fun for kids to get involved in making. My kids actually argue about who gets to eat the part that comes out of the center. Simple, right? So give this a try. Simply get creative with how you cut your veggies and play around with the different cuts and see what your child likes best. I promise you, you are going to be shocked at how much more likely your child is to give some of these veggies a go. Do you have another creative idea on how to cut veggies? If so, leave them in the comments below so that we can all share ideas. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get all the picky eating hacks delivered straight to your inbox. I'm Sarah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.